Hey YouTube, so today I'm going to show you how to adjust a rear derailleur on your bike. This also works for like Walmart bikes. All derailleurs are pretty much the same, so yeah, let's get to it. I'm just going to rig up a quick bike stand with some 2x6s just to hold up the frame. Good. Okay, this one. Get that rough measure. Just get that. I'm gonna mess up the shifting. I'm gonna tell you the purpose of some of the components on here. So there's the high limit and the low limit screws, and those are usually right next to each other. So in this case it's this one and it's this one. And those two screws adjust how close it is to this cog and actually the cog down here. And that's for the high limit screw. It's only those two cogs. You do not use them otherwise. Okay, now I'm going to try to shift. See, didn't do anything. See, not shifting right. I can't even shift any lower than that. You can't go up to 2 and 1. Alright, so I'm just going to undo this. Pull that cable through a little bit more. Just a little bit, so it's a little bit tighter. Tighten it. Then go check out if it at least shifts. Alright, well it shifted up, so that means our tension is fine. And now I'm going to show you how to adjust the high limit screw, which there is almost always going to be an H and an L on like right next to the screws on the plastics of the derailleur, and you gotta identify where that is. Alright, the high one is this top one. So I'm going to show you what that will do. Right. Okay, now this is tightening. Watch very closely. You can see it moving inward. So what this does is when you are shifting and you shift into this cog, it will not allow this chain to move anywhere past this point. But what you want to look for is for the pulley wheel, the highest pulley wheel up here, to be like, to be directly in line with the highest cog down here. So if you might not be able to see on there, but it is not in line right now. I'll tighten it a bit more so you can actually see it moving. So it's definitely moving. So I'm going to loosen it. Alright. Now that looks a bit too far this way. A little bit tighter. Should be right there. I'm good. Alright, that looks perfect. Right now, As you can maybe see from there, they're like just about right in line. And also a way you can check is by just letting it in that gear and pedaling. It should not be trying to shift at all, and that means that you should be good. So then if you try to go up more, shift right back down in that gear, no problem. Alright, so now the next step, before you do this the low limit screw, adjust the cable tension. So you do not never adjust the cable tension when it's in the low, when it's in the high cog or the low cog. Always do it with it when it's in like any of the middle range gears. So I'm just gonna put it into 9. And if you can see, it is kind of towards the right. It's not very well lined up. And those little tiny things will affect your shifting. This gap right there between the next cog up and the chain is gradually getting larger, and that means that the derailleur is a bit too far this way. Now when I tighten the barrel adjuster up there for the cable, you should actually see it move. Right. That should move. I really can't see what I'm doing now. But no. Pedal those a little bit. And now look at the location of the chain. Now that's a bit too far to the left, so I'll loosen everything. And usually when you adjust these little barrels up there, you can feel like little notches, and like those notches are meant to be there, so like you can precisely adjust. Alright, now you can see there's no bad sounds of it trying to shift or anything. And this is what you don't see. That's what you don't want. That's when your low limit is not set properly. So if I try to shift any lower, which I know I can't, but if I do, as you can see, it wants to go into the frame. I mean, into the spokes, which is bad. So this is the low limit screw now. You want that low limit screw to make sure that this is perfectly in line with the lowest cog. So I'm going to show you what movements do. So tightening it should move it to the right. Alright, now you can see I'm trying to shift more. It won't let me because of that limit screw. That limit screw only allows this derailleur to go up to this point and does not allow it to go past that point. Peace. So how to make this a Holotech stand? You need a welder. I know a lot of people don't have, but sometimes people do. If you want me to show you how to make this, comment below and I'll make another one. Works great.